Why AutoCAD users struggle with Revit, and how to finally make the switch. If you're an AutoCAD user who's tried Revit and felt completely lost, you're not alone. In fact, 73% of architects and engineers who attempt this transition give up within the first month. But here's the thing, it's not because Revit is harder, it's because you're approaching it all wrong. I could almost say forget AutoCAD if you really want to learn Revit the right way, faster and more efficiently. Hey everyone, I'm Manuel Morecos, and I've been helping CAD professionals make this exact transition for 20 years. I've personally guided over 800 of AutoCAD users to become confident Revit professionals. And today I'm going to show you exactly why this transition feels so difficult, and more importantly, what you can do about it. Let me start with a story that might sound familiar. Last month, Sarah, a senior architect with 15 years of AutoCAD experience, called me frustrated. Her firm was switching to Revit, and despite being incredibly skilled in AutoCAD, she felt like a complete beginner again. Sound familiar? Here's what's really happening. The fundamental problem isn't your ability, it's your approach. You see, most people try to use Revit like it's just a fancier version of AutoCAD. But that's like trying to drive a helicopter the same way you drive a car. They might both get you places, but the principles are completely different. Let me break down the key differences that are causing your struggle. 1. Drawing versus building. AutoCAD, you're drawing lines, circles, and shapes. It's like sketching on digital paper. Revit, you're actually building a virtual building with real components. Walls, doors, windows that behave like real objects. 2. 2D versus 3D thinking. AutoCAD, you create 2D drawings and maybe extrude some 3D views. Revit, everything is 3D from the start. Change one thing, and it updates everywhere automatically. Have you ever seen an AutoCAD project where all the views and sections match the plans? I haven't. There's always some change that hasn't been updated in one of the drawings. With Revit, this no longer happens. 3. Manual versus intelligent. AutoCAD, want to show a door in plan, elevation, and section? You draw it 3 times. Revit, put it once and it appears correctly in all views automatically. And puts all specialties in the same project, making possible, among other things, clash detections. This way, we can avoid more than 80% of problems during construction, during the execution design phase. 4. Individual files versus central model. AutoCAD, each drawing is separate. Coordination happens manually. Revit, one central model that everyone works from simultaneously. It's drawing versus BIM, building information model. But here's where most people get stuck. They try to recreate their AutoCAD workflow in Revit. It's like trying to use a smartphone like a rotary phone. Technically possible, but you're missing 90% of the power. Why people struggle. After working with hundreds of professionals making this transition, I've identified the top 5 reasons people struggle. 1. Wrong learning sequence. Most people jump straight into modeling without understanding Revit's logic. It's like trying to write a novel before learning the alphabet. 2. Fighting the software. Instead of learning Revit's way of doing things, they try to force their AutoCAD habits. This creates frustration and inefficiency. It helps to have a good understanding of how things are constructed and, consequently, how detailed drawings works. With this in mind, we'll understand Revit's logic and its hierarchy within families, and the program will suddenly become easy to learn. This is one of the core points in the courses I teach. 3. Information overload. Revit has thousands of features. Most people try to learn everything at once instead of focusing on the 20% that gives 80% of the results. 4. No structured path. YouTube tutorials and random online courses leave gaps. You end up with scattered knowledge, but no cohesive workflow. 5. Lack of real-world application. Learning tools in isolation doesn't help. You need to understand how they fit into actual project workflows. Here's what I've learned after helping so many professionals make this transition successfully. The secret isn't learning more tools, it's learning the right sequence. Think of it like learning to cook. You don't start by trying to make a 5-course meal. You start with basic techniques, then build complexity. The professionals who succeed follow what I call the foundation first method. Week 1 to 2, master Revit's core logic and interface. Week 3 to 4, build your first complete project using proper workflows. Week 5 to 8, advanced techniques and family creation. Week 9 to 12, real-world project scenarios and troubleshooting. But here's the key. You need someone who's been through this transition themselves and has guided others through it successfully. Over the past 20 years, I've developed a systematic approach that's helped several AutoCAD professionals become confident Revit users in just 3 months. My students don't just learn the software. They transform their entire design process and often see salary increases of 15 to 30% within 6 months of completing the transition. If you're serious about making this switch and want a proven, step-by-step system instead of struggling through random tutorials, I've put together a comprehensive 3-month coaching program that takes you from AutoCAD expert to Revit professional. I'll put a link in the description where you can learn more about the program and see if it's a good fit for you. But whether you work with me or not, remember this. The transition from AutoCAD to Revit isn't about learning new software. It's about learning a new way of thinking about design and information. If this video helped clarify why you've been struggling, hit that like button. And let me know in the comments, what's been your biggest challenge with Revit so far? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.